Thank you. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about my project and persuasive speaking in general, and then we're going to go into the role play. So as Maylin said, I just finished college tours, and I discovered that college recruitment has become a big business. It's sales. And I'm not just talking about for-profit colleges that you hear about in the news. All admissions counselors in all large universities like the UW, Stanford, Harvard, all the little schools around, they're all going for the same students. So they want those great students, and they want that large amount of money. The cost of universities and colleges, as most of you know, because I think most of you are students, has gone way, way up. It is a big ticket item. And so this project that I'm going to be doing is about sales for big ticket items. And I think universities really qualify for that now. It's no longer just, buying a car is a big ticket item. A college education is a big ticket item. Years ago when my daughter did her search, which was about, she's a lot older than my son. It's been about 7 to 10 years. I don't remember getting all of these contacts, these letters from schools that my son or I had never heard of. So it was like a cold call. We'd get letters from Brooklyn, New York, small college there. We'd get things from Tacoma. We'd get University of Washington. We'd get University of Wyoming. All kinds of things. Part of that is because he had high AP scores. And they saw that and they sent that out. And I'm sure a lot of you may have gotten these this unsolicited attention. So, with this, I felt like it was the equivalent of a cold call. They were just going out there and getting us. And so with this project, the Persuasive Speaking Project, I wanted to show how college recruitment can be like a cold call. We're not actually, I can't send a letter, we're not going to be on the phone, but the scenario is that Maylin and her son are looking at different colleges, a small group, a consortium group, and I am the admissions counselor in this consortium group, and I'm going to try to sell her on our little colleges. We're trying to get her student who may decide to go to Harvard, who may decide to go to the University of Washington, but we want that money and that student for our little group. So as you watch, see how well I persuade Ms. Maylin to join our college, have her and her son join our college family.
And for your information, in the role play, my partner doesn't know any of the questions that I've prepared, so that everything is spontaneous. Her persuasion will be spontaneous too.
If I'm able to persuade. So we're gonna sit down. She's just come into my office. Welcome, Ms. Chua.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Kyra. My son is 18 years old and he's going to college next fall. And we've got all these unsolicited mails, and we've been to college fairs, we've visited some colleges, some campuses, and we are still very undecided. That's why I come to you today. I want to get more information from you besides those that I can gather from your website. What do you think that makes your school so special?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Maylin. May I call you Maylin?
Yes, please.
Well, we're a consortium of smaller southern colleges, and we think that we give students that extra help, extra attention that you wouldn't get at a large university. Now, I know that you live in the Seattle area, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And you have some universities, there's University of Washington, Seattle University, but all of those universities have a much larger population than the three in our consortium. Did your son go to a large school, a large high school?
Well, he is actually in a smaller high school because we live in the suburban area. We do not live in the Seattle city proper. So he really prefers a smaller school than a bigger school.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I think we can help provide that. I have a couple of colleges that I can show you that are within our consortium if you're interested. There's Randolph College, and that has about 700 students. There is Presbyterian College, and that has about 900. And then Lynchburg, which is also in the area, has about 1,200. And all of these colleges, they're small and they give great personal attention, smaller class sizes, but they can exchange between those classes if they need something outside of the curriculum. Did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I do. Since they're small colleges, so do they offer on campus like dormitories?
Yes, they do. All three of our colleges have extensive dormitories, depending on the size. We have dormitories in the Lynchburg for honor students. If your student is an honor student, we have all men's dormitories. We have co-ed dormitories. So we do have that option.
Okay, great. So, and my last question, which is very important, what is the average financial aid that these colleges can provide to the first year students?
That is a great question, and I know a lot of our families are looking at that question. Well, all of our colleges have endowments, and pretty significant endowments. For example, Randolph College, which was originally a women's college, but is now, of course, co-ed, which would work for your son, has a very large endowment because there were many young women at the turn of the century that just loved Randolph College and just left their entire estates to us. And so we have a very large endowment, and we're hungry. We're just looking for good students like your son. I mean, we've seen his scores, we've seen his grades, and it's just, he is perfect. Lynchburg College, and I wanted to give you, here's our undergraduate college catalog, also has a large endowment. They, as well as the other colleges, as well as Presbyterian, we want to be able to fill in those gaps, to offer funds for students to make it so that it's not a hardship at all. Our Presbyterian College, we look to we look at what the student would pay at an in-state rate at their in-state college, and we make sure that we match that. So we'll use financial aid from the federal government, plus we'll use financial aid from our endowment. So, and that's something, private colleges like these three, here's scholarship and financial aid right there. Private colleges have additional funding and have a little bit more leeway than your state colleges like the University of Washington, if that's what you were considering. So, and here we have a guide for visitors.
Oh,
so that may assist you. I think that we don't want your son to have to worry about having to pay for college at all. We want it to be seamless and smooth, and if there's anything that's left over, we do rely on loans from the federal government, but we try to make it as easy as possible because we want him to concentrate on schoolwork.
thank you. That's really what we need. Thank you so much for your time. And may I have your email address or even a Twitter so in
yeah.
case I have future questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're collegesthataregreat.com. and here's some more information. Please contact me with any questions.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.